Minecraft 1.21 Tricky Trials features new mobs, items, and adventures. Join your ante as I play 100 days in Minecraft Bedrock's hard mode with a mix of happiness, cramming, and stress. Enjoy the video! Kumusta na kayo mga ante? And today I will challenge myself in that 100 days and that narration with the English language. And yeah, there are grammatical errors here. But before we dive in, these are my goals. The first one is to build a house that must be 100% original as a personal challenge since everyone knows I am bad at building and end up copying others' builds. To make it more challenging, it must be built in an underrated biome. The next one is to make a good diamond armor and sword with perfect enchantments. Of course, no 100-day challenge is complete without defeating the Ender Dragon and obtaining an Elytra. And lastly, exploring defeat the newest structure in 1.21, the Trial Chambers. Look at this man, many stuff changed. Before creating the world, I turned on the show coordinates and show days played. A quick information about the days played on the upper left of the screen. As you can see, it currently shows 0, and it will become 1 once we sleep and reach day 2 in this world. This means that it only counts how many days we've played, not the day we're currently on. Day 1, I spawned in the dark oak forest. Using my fist, I quickly grab birch logs. As every Minecraft survivor did in their survival world, I made a crafting table, quickly made a wooden pickaxe, and dug down to get cobblestones. While mining, I saw a vein of coal ores, so I mined it all. Above, I made a stone sword, axe, pickaxe, and furnaces. Then, I killed every animal I saw so that I could have food to eat on my journey. I gathered oak logs instead of birch logs as I planned to build my house out of oak planks. Then, I saw one of the newest breed of wolf. I did not have any bones, so yeah. Later that day, I slept and it's already day 2. On days 2 to 5, I started traveling to find that underrated biome in Minecraft. I gathered some sugar canes which I could use to make papers for the enchanting area. In the cave I saw in the jungle, there were visible iron ores, so I went down and mined it all. I smelted the raw irons I got, then crafted a shield and a bucket. I also crafted an iron helmet. On the same biome, I also got my first friend in this world, this cute little parrot. With the parrot, we continued exploring and reached the savanna biome. Then, I saw an armadillo and tried to kill him, thinking that it would drop something special, but nah. I stole the hay bales and some worth-it items in the village I saw since it was an action to make a progression, guys. Then, I explored the plains and finally came to a mesa and a desert biome. So mga ante, this is the underrated biome I am talking about, where I will build my house, and no, it's challenging, but I will try hard to survive. In the desert village, I saw a camel. I used the saddle I had so that I could ride the camel. And look how our colors match. Later that day, I looked for an area where I would build my house. Then I saw this, which caught my heart and attention. So, I placed my bed and stored some items in the chest. I also planted sugarcane so that I can produce more of it. Look how cute the camel is. Oh man, he's shy. Day 6 to 11, I looked around the surroundings and saw a ruined portal chilling, then a cave near it. I decided to grab a bed in the village and finally then went inside the cave I saw. Since it took me months not playing survival mode, it was my adjustment stage again to be strong and brave to face these nerds. Oh man, how can this nerd hit me? I dug down and lightened the cave I saw. Luckily, the creeper just gave me a welcome gift. When he blew up, a vein of iron ore appeared. I mined and smelted it all. While thinking about my next move, another nerd appeared with a shining fiery bow. The nerd also gave me a welcome gift. He dropped the enchanted bow. When I already had enough iron ingots, I crafted my armor. When I used the golden pickaxe I got from the ruined portal to mine the gold ores, it did not drop any. So I threw them away and then made my first iron pickaxe. But then, new nerds approached me. I don't know what just happened here, man. I went 1 millimeter to the other creeper away from the other creeper. Oh, man. I decided to mine down in Y level negative 58. I settled up my items as well as the bed, furnaces, and crafting table, then started strip mining. Luckily, I saw my very first diamond. Man, what's going on here? So, I chose to mine in a higher Y level, which is Y negative 55. There, I saw more redstones, diamonds, and lapis. When I saw another diamond ore, I realized that it could drop more than one if I used the fortune tree pickaxe with it. So I had to make a diamond pickaxe to get obsidian and then use it to pick the enchantment table to obtain that fortune tree enchant. Sadly, I decided to use the oak logs I got since there was no wood source in the mines to make ladders for an easy access to my mining area. Accidentally, gravel just dropped on the water I placed below. I just realized that gravels have gravity. When I reached the top, nerds approached me again. So they tasted the fiery arrows from the bow of their fellow nerd. I decided to run off in the river to get water to make an unlimited source of it in the mines. Going back, nerds approached me again and pushed me on the cliff. But thanks to the luck, I did not die. Because of that, I decided to make a safer path. When the water source was fixed, I put stairs outside the cave, but the iron pickaxe broke, so the diamond pickaxe era had just begun. On day 12, I mined at least a stack of obsidian in the lava pool at the village. Obsidians were this much because I will be making an XP farm out of those. On day 13, instead of doing important stuff, together with my buddy Camel, we started traveling to gather the items I need to build my house, which includes spruce logs. On day 14, in the village we saw, I became a thief for the end time. I took the potatoes and the carrots. There, my dearest camel friend became a parent. But it was not my buddy's job to take care of this little one, so we then proceeded exploring. Can someone explain this? I chopped the oak logs I saw since I already used almost of the oaks I had in the mines. Later that day, I saw a mountain full of coal and iron ores. I slept and chose to mine them. Tears dropped from the sky while traveling on the 16th day in this world. On the same day, I saw another ruined portal and stole the loot in the chest. Luckily, I found the dripstone cave. So I gathered pointed dripstone and a block of it since I will be making a farm out of it. On day 17, we faced a birch forest which made traveling harder since my body camel is way too big to make a good path for him to go. So, I decided to cage him and save its coordinates, then continued traveling all by myself. A few minutes later, I finally saw the spruce forest. I got the woods as well as its saplings. When I was done, I chose to go back to the coordinates of my body. While we were traveling on our way home, I saw another parrot. I tamed him so that the parrot I left at home would have a new friend. For the end time, I stole the good items in the village. Man, the villagers here are chismoso, eh? I decided to cross this area since the other side of it was where my base was, according to the coordinates, eh? This might be hard for my body camel, but I still took the risk so that I could go home. Thanks for the help, dearest dolphins! On day 21, I built my Nether portal. In the Nether, I built walls to protect myself from the fireballs or other disasters in this dimension. So basically, I made the Nether portal this early since it is a part of my plan for the XP farm. The pigmen will be the XP source, so it is a must to separate the main portal from the portal of that farm. If I built it near my main portal, dozens of pigmen would be spawning in its link in the Nether, so it would be better if it is built at least 50 blocks away in the overworld from here. I decided to build it here, but I saw a desert temple. So, I decided to craft a brush because I was expecting good loot from the sus sands in the temple. Feather and a copper ingot are needed, so I decided to grind them first. Going back into the temple, I stole the good items chilling in the chests. Then looked for the sus sands above. On day 23, I planted sugar canes near my XP farm. Then, I started to build a big Nether portal. Then break and fix the Nether portal to determine which side will pigmen spawn. I then saved the coordinates of my portal and divided the X and Z coordinates with 8 since 8 blocks in the overworld are only equal to 1 block in the Nether. So I mentally computed its coordinates in the Nether. So I came up with X negative 52 and Z negative 269. Too slow, but oh yeah. When I finished building the portal, I went in and boom! It is perfectly linked. Before going back to the base, I gathered quartz to make an observer. After that, I got lava since I will also be building a lava source beside the XP farm so that the time would not be wasted for nothing. Going back to the area of the XP farm, I planted spruce saplings and built a starter lava source near it using pointed dripstone and it's blocked there. So that, while I was doing stuff for the XP farm, plants would grow and lava would flow. "20 blocks below, I decided to design the area using spruce woods while I was waiting for more pigmen to be killed. Day 26, I literally get myself in trouble. Did someone say trouble? Prepare for trouble and make it double to protect us from the falling pigmen. To unite all blocks for a better design. To denounce the lag that makes me cry. To extend my reach for fortune is might. Nick, and my Pokemon line. This form absolutely blasts off at the speed of light. Will not surrender. Go fight. Me, yeah, that's right.
Wow, Buffett!
Using the lava bucket, I cooked the sandstones I got from mining on that farm to make smooth sandstones since I will be using those in building my house. See? Every action starting that day has a purpose because I wasted my time traveling. On day 29, I decided to make a staircase that connects the killing area and the surface since I already had 47 levels to use in the enchanting table. Above, I gathered all spruce logs and got some spruce saplings to plant near my base. Together with my tired and shy body camel, we went back to the base. I lightened the whole area since I will not be sleeping for so many days since I also need a phantom membranes. Phantoms will only spawn if the player did not sleep for 3 or more in-game days. We all know that planting is impossible in this kind of biome. So, together with my buddy, we went to the savannah to gather dirts to make the impossible possible. In the savannah on day 33, I leashed the sheep I saw because I would also be making a wool farm near my base. I went back to the savannah and gathered more dirt and lured the cows I'd seen. When I'm at my base, I caged and breed the cows. On day 34, I made a carrot and potato farm since I would be using those for breeding and trading with the villagers. Later that day, I started building my house using the materials I gathered. On day 37, my mission to have a lot of leather was done. So, I made books using sugar canes and those leathers. I also made the enchantment table, then settled up the enchanting area. I used the lapis lazuli to find fortune tree enchantment for my pickaxe. I also used a grindstone to remove the unwanted enchantment that the table gave. When the table gave me a silk touch pickaxe, which was a crucial enchantment for pickaxes, I decided to make a new diamond pickaxe to have the fortune tree enchantment. On day 38, I decided to go back to the mines and use my brand new pickaxes. I spent 3 days in the mines, mining and mining to be rich. On day 41, I went back to the XP farm to get more XP and move the whole enchanting area there. I used the 29 diamonds I had to craft the diamond armor. As a satisfied customer, I wore the enchanted diamond armor and lived happily as ever. On day 45, leaving my house unfinished, I went into the Nether to find the Nether fortress to gather Nether warts and base rods from the bases. For our Nether adventure mga ante, we will follow what mathematician Pythagoras believed. Everything is governed by mathematics. In this adventure, we will be using the formula made by the guy behind the Minecraft Made Easy channel to find the structures in the Nether with a mathematical concept that made my survival in Minecraft easier. According to him, there are structures per quadrant, and to find those, you have to check 9 sets of coordinates within that quadrant. The first step is determining the quadrant where your current coordinate is. I will not further explain things in this part. If you guys are curious, you should visit the channel of the Minecraft Math Master I'd said. The link is also attached in the description. So the quadrant where my nether portal was built is x0, y, z, negative 480. The next step is to find the 9 sets of coordinates within that quadrant. So based on the tutorial the guy made, I added 104, 208, and 312 with each x and z values. I come up with this table and check each coordinate. When I saw a bastion in that quadrant, I then went into the x0, y, z, 0. After that, I also followed the same procedure and came up with this set of coordinates. Then check each coordinates in the nether. On day 46, I finally saw the Nether fortress. I tried my best to make my way on the outside, but nerds attacked me. So I temporarily became Diglett and made my way inside the fortress. As what I am always doing in the nether fortresses, I always place blocks in here since wither skeletons would not fit in a 2-block high area to attack me. Then I finally saw the room where the nether wart was. After exploring and looting the chests in this fortress, I finally saw the area where the blaze spawner was. I stayed there for minutes and killed as many blazes as I could. And yeah, the screen recording just stopped and realized it when I was already at home. At my base, I planted nether warts. And then I brewed fire resistance potions. Then I used the golden boots so that piglins would not attack me. On day 49, while exploring the outer part of the bastion, I noticed that there were gold blocks, which means that this is a bridge bastion based on types. In the bridge bastion type, at least 2 chests were chilling on the left and the right side. To transfer the stuff inside the chest, I used the hopper so that piglins would not attack me. After looting the chests, I finally got 16 gold blocks. Going back home, I prepared the materials I needed to make the wool farm, but I realized that I didn't have enough iron ingots. So I prepared again on my way to the mountain full of ores I had seen before. But before that adventure, a nerd just spawned in the river. Wasting hours of surviving in this challenge, I used my feet instead of going out with my body. Luckily, I reached the mountain where it is, and started mining all the iron ores using the fortune tree pickaxe. After that fortune, I went inside the XP farm and smelted the raw irons in the blast furnace using lava. On day 53, I started making the automatic wool farm behind my house since it would work if a person was near that chunk. Things didn't work well when the sheep got sheared. The wools only dropped beside the sheep and not inside the chests below. I realized that because of being so lutang all the time, I used the chest in a minecart instead of a hopper. While continuing to build my house, villagers just spawned inside and tried to challenge me. I killed the nerds and its captain. The captain dropped the banner it was holding and a bad omen 5 in a bottle. In the morning, I noticed that carrots and potatoes grew, so I used my fortune pickaxe to gather lots of that plant, then expanded the area using dirt. On the other side, I also planted the pumpkin and melon seeds. Day 58, I ran out of oak woods, so I explored the surroundings with my body and got enough oak woods. On day 60, with the help of the irons I got, I can now finally make rails and minecarts. I villager napped the nerds in the village because they would become my slaves to become rich. In the village, I destroyed the blocks that helped them get a job and stole the books in the village to trade with them. On day 61, I locked the job of the nerd using carrots. I made the other nerd a librarian and tried my best to destroy and paste the lectern to have that mending book. Later that moment, the nerd finally sells mending with a price of 36 emeralds and the book. Using the wool from the wool farm, I crafted more beds and gave the nerds 16 carrots each so that they could expand their slave family. While waiting for the baby nerd to become old, I started designing my base. This area would be my storage room. When he became old, he also became a librarian nerd, so I want him to sell Unbreaking Tree. I let my slaves sleep that day, so that I could have my time to spend doing outside stuff like gathering more spruce woods, more sugar canes, and moving inside the items in the chest outside. Later that morning, I started finding one of these enchantments. Protection 4, Sharpness 5, Looting 3, or other enchantments to max the armor and sword I have, except of that Thorns tree. The same routine happened until day 65. After that, I started crafting items I needed to make the functional trading hall. Sad to say that the screen record when I started making the trading hall got corrupted. Using the fermented spider eye and gunpowder, I brewed a weakness potion. I put the potion I made in a cauldron, then dipped my arrows in it to make them an arrow of weakness for curing the zombie villagers. I also fixed some parts of my house on that day. Later that morning, I literally wasted my day finding the enchantment I really wanted. Man, this is hard! I thought I wasted my time because I thought the villagers here were nerfed, until the villager finally gave me that Looting Tree enchantment. Man, they're not nerfed, they're just that nerd. So, I quickly bought that book. I also turned the other villager into a librarian and looked for the enchanted book I wanted. And just look at this man, he had a level, but the items were just the paper and the book. Man, this is bug, right? When I looked for the Looting Tree nerd, he was literally gone. So my investigation came up that this guy is the Looting Tree guy. Hours had just passed and still no protection 4 nor sharpness 5. I gave up finding those that day, so I chose to transfer the people inside my house to that trading hall. On day 70, I finally looked for a zombie which would be the wrecker of my slaves' lives. I finally brought the zombie inside and left the chunk without naming him. So when I came back, the villagers turned into a zombie nerd and the wrecker zombie just despawned. After that, I continued looking for the enchantment I wanted inside my house. It made me realize that finding perfect trades in the trading hall isn't good for a 100-day challenge. And on day 71, I finally made the villager sell that sharpness 5 enchanted book. I traded with the villagers using the carrots and others to make my emerald grow. Using all the emeralds I had, I traded that sharpness 5 enchanted book. You see, the price is very high, but I still traded him that price. Don't be so worried guys, I still took advantage of that trading area since I am using the cured villager with a low price stuff to make more money. I forced my slaves not to sleep at night since I literally wasted a lot of time with them. I just made my armorer nerd sell an enchanted diamond armor. Yay! And later, I put a mending enchantment with my fortune pickaxe since it is nagiging alo. Or what do we call that in English? Like, we'll be dead anytime? Something like that. I moved more villagers in the trading hall outside and traded more emeralds with them to buy that name tag which I would use to name the wrecker. On the night of day 73, I am looking for a zombie, but a phantom just attacked me. Unexpectedly, I literally killed him and he dropped his membrane. Like wow, I'm so lucky that time. I brought the zombie inside and used the name tag in him. Meet Ralph the Wrecker, mga ante. Later, I used the lanterns I got from the librarian to design my house. Then went into the trading hall again to turn the villagers into a zombie nerd. I used the arrow of weakness and the golden apple to cure them. On day 75, I finally got that protection 4. See, I told you! Searching for each enchanted book would not be good in a 100 days challenge. Like man, it took me almost 15 days placing and breaking a lectern just to find that perfect enchant bro. So, I quickly traded with him and placed the nerd with a perfect job at the trading hall to turn him into a zombie nerd. Then, I started buying the enchanted books I needed to make a full enchanted diamond armor and a sword. Making my experience low, I combined each enchantment and put them in my diamond items using an anvil. On day 77, because of my selfishness, I brought myself another responsibility when I accidentally killed Ralph. So, I looked for another zombie and named him Ralph the Wrecker 2. Since there was a jobless nerd left inside my house, I turned him into a librarian and looked for a fire aspect enchanted book that would complete my goal to have all the best enchanted book for my sword. When I already found one, which was a fire aspect one only, I accidentally used my brain cells. If I can combine this aspect 1 with the other aspect 1 in an anvil, then it will turn into an aspect 2. So, I bought 2 fire aspect 1s and ran it to the XP farm, so that I could have enough XP level to put these enchantments in my sword. While waiting for more pigment, I brewed the important potions there since after I placed the enchantments in my sword, I would be going to the end to challenge the boss nerd. I also made an Eye of Ender using the Ender Pearl I got from the villager and the Blaze Powder. I went down first into the mines to get blocks. Then, in my house, I made another water bucket and a bed. On day 82, I started using the Eye of Enders to find the stronghold. When it was already night, I drank my night vision potion. Luckily, I finally saw a cherry grove biome. Then came into a snow biome. When I noticed that the eye just led me in that direction, I did not use any of it because I already lost a lot of it. But when I got too far and then I used another one, it led me back. The eye just put me in that ruined portal. I tried to dig down in there, keeping my coordinates beside the water below that ice, since I had a strong feeling that the stronghold was in there. Luckily, I dug down to the room where the end portal really is. I searched around the area and saw a trim template, so I stole it. Then, I left some items in the chest because I also had a strong feeling that I would die anytime in the end. So watch me as I struggle to fight the dragon like how players battled the Sinnoh champion Cynthia in a Pokemon game. See? I did not die while fighting the dragon. Yes, maybe my instincts were wrong, heh? On day 84, I kept the dragon egg since who knows about the future? Maybe this would be used again. Being so overconfident, I went inside that end gateway and started looking for the end city with the ship. On day 85, I finally saw an end city. I killed the shulkers there, hoping that I could have a lot of shulker shells. Then I noticed that there was no room with chests and ender chests just like what I'd seen 2 years ago. Maybe I am unlucky, right? I finally bridged my way to the ship and stole the items in the chests and the elytra. After that, I put Unbreaking 3 and Mending Enchant with my elytra. I also stole the dragon's head and the obsidians in this ship and tried to fly with it. But on day 86, thankfully I left my spawn point in the stronghold. I tried the best I could to pick up my items in the end. I crafted some important stuff to be used in case of emergency. Thanks to that luck, my items were not despawned yet. After that, I carefully used my elytra and fireworks since I didn't want to make that history repeat itself. I used the gateway there to transport myself to the main island in the end. Before going back home, I stole the books chilling in the stronghold since I would be using those to buy the trial chambers map in our cartographer villager. I used my elytra to fly back home even though the weather was not that really good. On day 87, I used the last villager I had to make him a cartographer villager. Since his trade was too pricey, I made him a room at the trading hall. When he was already a zombie villager, I quickly grabbed and used my bow and weakness arrow, then fed him the golden apple so that he would be cured. Using the books I stole, I got more emeralds from trading with the villagers. When the cartographer is cured, I unlock every trade he had. But then, another problem just approached me. And nangante, look at the map I am holding right now. There is no sign of any structure or trial chamber structure. Man, am I that really unlucky? I tried to trade for another map, and the same map is still traded with me. Man, this villager is a big scam! By the way, if you guys are thinking that I should load the area of the map first, it will not work, since a real chambers map has an icon of trial chambers in it. It would be a waste of time in this world, and the time is really running out. Wiping all the iron ingots I had, I crafted more compasses and traded all in him, hoping that he would trade me the real map. But I noticed something. Man, just look at that! Man, is that one of the new version's bugs? So I asked some of my friends about that kind of issue, and they told me one possible solution for this, to update my Minecraft. So I updated the game from 1.21.0 to 1.21.2. But before that, since I ran out of ingots in making compasses to trade with the cartographer, I went back to the mountain full of coal and iron. While flying, I noticed another desert temple and the pillager outpost sitting next to it. But before stealing in those structures, I will be gathering the iron first. When I was done, I flew back to the structures and wrecked the place. Since time is really running out, I didn't search for those sands in the temple. After that, I raided the outpost next to it. Yo, there's an alley in the cage! I looked at the items in the chest at the outpost and finally saw a goat horn. At the base, while cooking the raw irons, I realized that there was a cartographer villager sitting in the village next to my base. But before everything else, I want to check if the bug is fixed since I updated my game. When I traded with the ones in my trading hall, he really gave me the trial chambers map with an icon. But there is still a problem with the map he gave me, because it is not a locator map. There was no signs to which side of the map I really am, so it will not still work. So on day 90, I proceeded to the village and tried everything I could to trade the trial chambers map with the cartographer guy in there. But besides those efforts, the bug still won. This is the bug map of trial chambers. And this is the ocean map I traded. See the difference between them? So I searched on YouTube for other ways to find the trial chamber structure. And Waddle said that you can explore in big caves and it generates in sus area like the giant round area which really covers that structure. Then he also said the branch mining, which is mining in that of between Y0 and Y-20. So when I was done preparing night visions and other items, I went back again in the mines and literally stripped mine on Y-21. Y-21? Yes, Y-21. Just like, bro, what? Oh yeah, another waste of time. I totally forgot most important item in my house, that bad omen in a bottle. So I explored that area and then dealt with the nerds spawning there, and also following the trails of the minerals in there. Then I finally saw what Waddle said in the video, that giant round area, so I looked at its surrounding if I could see any tuff or copper blocks. I looked around and saw a cave that literally showed the new tuff block. Entering the structure, I tried fighting the ones where I bumped into. I was very grateful that I wasted my time for the villagers finding the enchantments I wanted, because the armor I am wearing right now is really strong. The first two trial spawners just gave me food and the other one is the trial key. Then I tried using it in the vault that has a part that turns into orange. It gave me a golden apple and the wind charge. I triggered more spawners but this isn't the ominous trial yet. So mga ante, to trigger a trial, you should drink that ominous bottle. Then the spawners will give you that ominous key, which will open the ominous vault, that would give you a better loot like that of heavy core, which can be crafted as a mace, which is new in this version. So on day 92, I drank the ominous bottle and had this trial effect on me. And man, just look at them, they really wore armor with dreams in it. See, I was very scared in this part that I literally used the bow instead of meeting the mob head to head. Like dude, I am very weak. I stole the items in every chest and the barrel I saw and broke those big pots since they contained good items like this diamond. And bro, I am literally stressed about the time left in this challenge. As you can see, I am at day 93 and still no ominous key. After that, I went to the room where the newest breeze is. Here we go boys, challenging the newest mob. Wow, they jump like the spoiled Pokemon. Food again. Mojang? Why am I not your favorite kid? So I went up and then challenged another skeleton. Food again? At this point, I am losing hope. Until I finally got an ominous key. I fought and still got more. So when I was done fighting the Bowie nerds, I went to the vault where you could use that ominous key. Based on the videos I watch on Shorts and TikTok, you can check the back part of the vault and use the key in time where you see that heavy core. When I checked its back, I saw no heavy core. Being so impatient, I used the key. Maybe the one I saw was a cap. Going back to where I left my ender chest, I opened the ominous vault near it. It gave me pretty loot like this new armor template, diamond chest plate, wind charges, and diamonds. After I brew this, I will be doing another trial challenge to get more ominous keys to open more ominous vaults. On day 94, I drank another ominous bottle and did the same thing as before. When I already had 3 keys, I used the one in another ominous vault I saw. You see, an ominous vault only opens once. So yeah, if I open all ominous vaults here, I cannot open it again even if I have the key. Seeing another ominous vault, seeing another ominous vault, seeing another vault, seeing another vault of ominous, I used the ominous key I had to open it. And still no heavy core. Why am I laughing? What kind of narration is this? I looked for more room in here to see for more vaults of that ominous. When I ran out of blocks, I went through the walls and mined more deep slates. But luckily, I bumped into another room. I got another ominous key. I used it and still got an armor template, crossbow, and emeralds. I saw another room and enjoyed the time fighting the nerds there. On day 96, I stopped raiding the trial chambers since I already opened the ominous vault I saw. I decided to seal the big pots and the small ones in that structure since I will be using those in designing my house until I can say that this is karma for stealing in here. So because of that, I stopped stealing. While I was digging up, I just literally bumped to where my base is. You see, I only have 3 in-game days left and my house is a full mess. I went into the forest and stole their oak logs and their saplings, leaves, and the dirt in there. And then decided to enchant my shovel so that it could go faster. I decided to change the floor of my storage room into dirt and started designing there. However, I realized that the montage would be on the outside first, so I stuck on designing in the outside part. I decided to grab more spruce logs and gravel underwater. Then, I started designing the roof of the trading hall, but okay, this is not good and we wasted our time again. So I destroyed what I'd done and focused only on my house. And boom, look at this. I think this is good. And yeah, we will wait till the days played show 100 since it is a proof of surviving 100 days. And yeah, this is it, Pansit na Ante. I survived 100 days. Real or fake? And look, I have more stuff to do in here since this is offline gaming. I did not unlock any achievements. And maybe 200 days? Thank you for this mga ante, and also thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video even though it's stressful. Bye bye! I will be bashed because of the ones I did here.